Hey folks, today we're going to be setting up the eufyCam S3 Pro 2-camera kit. So this includes the 2 cameras and the Homebase version 3 as well, which is the S380. So let's go ahead now and get everything unpackaged. The cameras themselves do have a 135-degree field of view as well. It's got a nice bit of weight to it there because of all the tech that eufy have put into this. We have the mount on the back and we have the solar panel up on the top here. On the bottom we do have this rubber grommet protecting the USB-C port, so we are going to get these charged up before taking them and putting them outside. Okay, so get them fully charged before connecting them for the first time. If you do want to add more cameras to your system after setting all this up, then you can get these available separately, and yeah, you can just add as many as you need to complete your home or business security needs. And then down here we have the Homebase unit itself, okay, which isn't huge, which is a good thing, so you can put this somewhere neatly and it's not going to be intrusive at all. On the back here we have a couple of USB ports along with the network port as well. The Homebase unit does have 16 gigabytes of fast internal storage, which is able to capture your clips, and once that has been filled, it will automatically start overwriting the older clips. But you can also add your own storage into this through a 2.5-inch drive. If we just take the top off there, you can see there is an expansion bay which just has one screw, and that's where you can install that secondary drive. And we've got all of the mounting, the wall mounting for the cameras here. And what I really like to see, I wasn't expecting this, but eufy have included an optional solar panel as well. So this is going to be fantastic if one of your cameras isn't positioned the best in terms of sunlight. Then you can actually hook this up. It's got a nice decent length cable with it. We saw that this had 3 wall mounts. That's because one of those wall mounts can be used for this extra solar panel. But to confirm, this is a backup solar panel, so it's not needed as long as the solar panel built into the cameras here is correctly oriented so that it can get at least 1 hour of sunlight per day. And finally, we also get the power cable and adapter for the Homebase. We can actually plug this into power, USB-C charging cable, and a network cable as well for connecting the Homebase directly to our router or other network device. And then we get a couple of stickers and all of the wall mounting screws. Okay, so I've gone ahead and plugged the hub in here to power, and I've got the app downloaded. That is the eufy security app with my free account set up, and as you can see, it's ready to add a device. One thing I will say is that the app can be used even when you are not connected to your home network. So if you are out and about, as long as you have some kind of internet signal, then you can go ahead and check all of the cameras, see what they're seeing, get any notifications, etc. But before doing anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and connect the home hub here to my internet. So straight into my router, let's go ahead and plug that in. And that's just going to take a moment to actually get the connection over to the home hub. So I'll leave that to do its thing. And then we'll select add a device from within the app itself. And I can see, I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but the red LED has now gone to a flashing blue LED. Again, that's just because I've connected this to my home network. So I'm selecting add device, and we will start by selecting the Homebase. And this is the Homebase S380 or the Homebase 3. And select next. And select next again since we are nicely plugged in. And select next because my phone is on the Wi-Fi. And it's already blue, so we can go ahead and select next once more. And here I'm just going to scan the QR code with the camera that is on the bottom of the Homebase. And now it's just going to connect for us.
Press the sync button on the back to accept it.
Okay.
Homebase was added successfully.
And this is where we get to set up some of those Homebase features, including the face management. So this means you can actually add the images of people's faces, for example, members of your own family. And that means then that when your cameras see those people, it's going to detect who they are and it's not going to notify you. So you're not going to be getting spammed with notifications. And if we just go to the camera app here on our phone, I can go ahead right now, if I take my hat off, and actually add my face here. So we'll get my face lined up and tap confirm there. And at this stage, if there's a firmware update, as there is for me, we can go ahead and update that. Okay, the update has been successful, so we can now go ahead and add more devices, which of course we're going to do. This time we're going to select a battery camera. And yes, the S3 Pro is right at the top, being eufy's flagship. So let's go ahead and select that, tap next, make sure that the camera and the Homebase are close to one another, which they are. So let's go ahead and select I am at the location.
Press the sync button until you hear the beep.
Okay, press the sync button until we hear the beep. The sync button is just at the bottom of the camera next to where the USB-C port is. So we'll just push that down for a moment. Heard the beep. And now we can go ahead and tap next.
Ready to add device.
Well, that's good to hear.
Device was added successfully.
Okay, I didn't have to do anything else. That took about 20-25 seconds maybe. So the device has now been added. Really, we need to make sure this is charged to full before we put it out into the actual position. We'll tap next here. Make sure that the grommet is closed where the USB-C port is, just to keep this fully weather resistant. And we just need to wait now until we can put this into position. But I'm going to skip testing the signal and just go ahead and see if we can get an actual image here. And there we have it. I've got to say, that looks really, really good. And now we can set up what notifications we want. And there we have it. So we have our 4K footage there. It's going to be captured in that high resolution for us, so that if we need to zoom in or get any details from the footage, we are much more likely to be able to do so. Don't forget as well, this is using eufy's latest night vision. It's not traditional night vision. This is going to give you full colour nighttime view. So we'll make sure we test that out in the full video review of this system. All of that good stuff. One of the things I do like about eufy is you just get so many options at your fingertips when using their systems. It's currently defaulted at standard night vision, but there are other options here, including daylight, spotlights, and also infrared as well, which is your more traditional night vision. But hey, that seems like an aging tech now, because we have full colour here with the S3 Pro cameras. So what I'm going to do now is get these cameras charged up, and we'll get one installed, set up, and actually see it in action. Okay, so I've got the location behind me where I'm going to install the first camera here. And remember, you've got the mount on the back. So the way this works, so this goes flat against the surface that you are going to be installing the mount onto, and then you screw it into place using the screw holes and the provided screws, and if necessary the wall plugs as well. And once this is secure to the wall, then make sure you take the restraining nut here and put this over the rest of the mount, and then we can screw this down. We have the actual bolt here for connecting into the back of the camera, and it'll be loose to start with until you tighten this here. So whilst it's loose, I recommend making sure that you can angle this down, because obviously, you know, you're going to probably want to angle the camera down to some degree. You can orient this to angle it up, but that's probably not going to be helpful for many of you. So make sure you angle this down. And then once you put the camera on the back here, on the actual mounting plug on the back of the camera, turn this here, and that will tighten the camera to the mount. So it's really easy. I'm going to go ahead and get that sorted. Okay, folks, so as you can see, I've got the S3 Pro, the first of two, installed behind me. Now, I do recommend installing these security cameras as high up as you are able to. That will just help to deter any potential vandalism. For the purposes of demonstration, I've just got this within arm's reach to make things easier for me. But as you can see, the image is coming through bright and clear. And I have to say, it does look fantastic, and it does have that lovely 4K detail. Not so much on the preview right now, but especially as this is backed up to the Homebase in terms of the clips and that are stored there. You are really, as I say, going to be able to capture all those details that may be useful. And if you just want to double check that the camera is connected directly to the Homebase and not to your home Wi-Fi network, which it shouldn't be, then you can just access the Homebase 3 from the settings, the devices list, and there you can see the cameras that it is giving network signal to. Right now I've just got this first one set up, and it is connected to the Homebase 3 without any issues. So the Homebase and cameras, I believe, communicate over the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi bandwidth, which does give the furthest range. Not necessarily the best speed, but that's not what you're looking for in a security system. Range is obviously the main important thing. So folks, what's going to happen now is I'm going to be testing these out more thoroughly and then bringing you a more in-depth review. But the setup process is as easy as that. And the fact it's all wireless means we don't have to fanny about with cables, which is definitely a big thing in my book that I do not want to be doing. I just want an easy life, and who doesn't? But folks, thanks for watching. I hope this tutorial has helped you out. and I'll catch you next time.